And we're back for yet another episode. This is episode 45 of Simply Clarifying. And this one is called, But Words Could Never Hurt Me. You ever heard that saying, sticks and stones may break my bones, but birds, Jesus, let's try it again. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me. Okay, fact, okay, obviously you can't take a word and beat someone to death with it. Fair, okay, not like a stick or a stone. But why, have you ever wondered, why our brain holds on to bad shit or negative things that someone has told us at some point in time? Why does that stay longer than the good? Because there are things that I can remember from certain interactions with different people, family, friends, whatever, doesn't matter. I remember a lot of the negative stuff. Or at least some of the big stuff that was aimed intentionally at me that carried a lot of weight for whatever reason. Okay? And even though it's not good to... Shit like this causes resentment, right? And just it kind of can fester and eat at you from the inside. So it's not really good to hold on to a bunch of stuff, right? If it's not good to dwell. Right? If you have a fight, for example, things can be said, whatever. If you choose to get over and move on or resolve said fight, why is it then, if it's already good, you're already on the same page, now the start is, restarted, whatever. Why is it that some of those words that hurt, they can still hang and they stay and can pop up again at random times. And it's you could remember nothing else of that fight. But some of those things that person told you in the moment that really just hurt you, why does that shit tend to stay? That's what I'm genuinely curious about. So here you go. Why we remember horrible things people say to us? It's not just you. Our brains are actually built to hold on to the bad stuff much longer than the good. And the science behind those hurtful comments stick around because, let's get into it. The negativity bias. This is a natural human tendency to give far more weight to negative experiences than positive ones. Okay, psychologists explain that remembering what harms us is an evolutionary survival mechanism designed to help us avoid repeating dangerous mistakes. So, I guess if you've had whatever conversations or whatever fights, and something was said, and then similar conversations start to arise, maybe that's why they pop up. Maybe it's hey, this is what happened. Are they going to say it again? What did I say to lead up to this? I don't know. The brain's alarm bell. When someone says something horrible, it triggers your something. The part of your brain that processes fear and threats, which then signals the hippocampus to hit the record button extra hard, encoding the memory with intense detail so you can stay safe in the future. Okay. Well, yeah. Survival versus happiness. Your brain prioritizes survival over happiness. Well, that's fucking fantastic, isn't it? While a compliment feels nice, it doesn't signal a life or death situation. So it often fades within 30 days. An insult, however, is treated as an emotional danger, which can stay vivid for 20 years or more? Okay. Now, alright. I do remember, being carded back in the day, whatever, for whatever reason. Even though there was a law, they had to card everyone. I just remember things thinking oh, hey, that's nice. I still remember that, right? And that wasn't 30 days ago. But there are things that happened over 20 years ago that, yeah, I just never have read any such thing, so it's kind of weird to see it like that. So let's see. The power of rumination. We tend to replay negative comments over and over in our heads. Facts. Which effectively rehearses the memory and makes it even stronger. We rarely do this with praise, so those positive neutral pathways remain weaker. So, my thing with positive stuff like that, okay? I had said something like back on the one about my body and stuff like that. How my tattoos and things. The tattoos that I have that mean the most to me are the ones that I can see all the time. Right? So things that I don't, they're just constant reminders. They're like badges to me. Right? Like I have my daughters here. I have, just like my phoenix, flamed phoenix feather. That was my gift to myself, quitting my 5-year job with a narcissistic fucking prick face. You know what I mean? Meaning that I'm stronger than I think and everything. Like, there are things. So, but that's like a constant reminder because I always, like, they're always right where I can see, right? So I guess if you don't have something, I don't know why we tend to think so much more negatively. I don't know. This came about, because we are getting ready to move eventually, whether that's in 3 months or 5 or what, I have no idea. It's kind of like on a pending scale. But we've moved several times. Okay. And maybe that's why things are starting to pop up. Maybe it's part of my anxieties because a lot of the move stuff falls on me. Maybe it's whatever. But there are things that different people say that just fucking stick. And it's like the conversation was yesterday. These conversations, because it's more than one. And it's not great. Right? Like it makes me feel like I'm doing something wrong. And I'm really fucking not. So it's just kind of like it's one of those, why can't I always think of, like, the good things? Like walking into a new house and imagining how to make it my own. Instead, I go to, like, everything bad that happened. The movers broke shit, stole shit. Like, we were stuck in a hotel for 2 weeks. Like, oh my God. I don't know. So, how to balance the scale? Let's reel it back. Since the brain is naturally tilted toward the negative, which is a little fucked up, I'd say that's a default. That's a horrible design, right? You have to be intentional to keep the good stuff around. Okay. Which is like my badges. You know what I mean? That's something that I want to see all the time because it makes me happy. It brings me peace. It brings me calm, all this stuff. So all of the things, right, is like a constant. It's like keeping a relationship alive. You have to constantly be there. You have to show up. You have to, yeah. All right, so the 12-second rule. Here we go. Negative experiences are stored almost instantly, but positive ones need to be held in your awareness for 12 seconds or more to transfer into long-term memory. So, it's so weird. I don't, like, where do these numbers even come from? Savor and repeat. Actively savoring a compliment or writing it down in a journal can help reinforce those positive memories. Yeah, that makes sense, I guess, if you're one that goes back and rereads journals again and again. Cognitive reframing. When a bad memory resurfaces, acknowledge it as your brain trying to protect you. Then consciously shift your focus to a recent win or positive interaction. Okay. Which I've had to do. Okay. As annoying as it is sometimes. The everything will be okay phrase, that we don't like to hear, especially in the hard times where it's just like, Christ almighty, shut up. Like, I don't need to hear that shit. But sometimes even saying things like that, the affirmations and everything will good, whatever, sometimes saying that again and again and again pulls you out of the negative situation. Okay? And I guess if you're having to have 12 seconds or more of a good thing, how do you make it last? Like I'm trying to think of like a random good thing. So like in my house, we have like, I don't want to say rituals because that's just fucking weird. It's just things that we do all the time, okay? So like whenever you're leaving, you always say goodbye, you know, hug and kiss. Okay. That's just a thing. Saying I love you throughout the day is like I never wanted to be in a place where I never heard it and I never said it. Okay? Because I've been in places where like these people, they live separate lives together and they could each totally function without each other. Not saying you need to be codependent and just fucking helpless to be with this person, but it's like to hear it again and again and to believe it, right? Because if you're only hearing the good stuff when somebody wants something or needs something from you, it's a transactional situation. And that is not what I want my kids to think is normal. That's not normal. You know what I mean? That's not good. That's not good enough for me. So between texting and saying it out loud, the words I love you are probably floating through this house at least 20 times a day. At least. I mean, between kids and husband and blah, 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 whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, sometimes I would question if it was like a too much thing. Like, am I smothering you? Like, do you feel like I should just be less or whatever? And I'm always told no. And yeah. So, I don't know. Maybe things like that kind of stick in there. I mean, that's something that I don't have a negative situation with, which is good because I know several people who they don't talk like that. Like they don't hear it, they don't say it. It's just not part of their day to day. If I went the entire day without saying I love you or hearing I love you in some form or fashion, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. Like that's a big situation for me. So, yeah. I really didn't think that I didn't know about the 12-second rule, right? That something needs to be in your mind for 12 seconds. When I talk about this in Carline today, it's going to be, my friend's going to be like, what? But it's just one of those weird things. But we hold on. It's the crazy part. You can hold on to something for over 20 years, a phrase or an interaction, a negative one. And because it's an emotional danger, wow. And your brain always prioritizes survival over happiness, which is a little fucked up, but I mean, you gotta respect it, you know, because if you're out there a happy fucking lunatic, then yeah. Did you ever wonder, I mean, why you dwell more on negative shit than positive shit? Or is this just another one of my weird things that nobody else ever thinks of because why? Why would you? You know what I mean? Like, I remember saying the phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. I said that so many times as a kid, as so many other kids, at least kids my age, you know? Kids today be like, what's a stick? But I mean, I said it so much then and I believed it, right? And you had to, because that was part of your armor, you know, to let them know that you can say whatever you want about me. That doesn't hurt me. But in the same respect, there are some people who have said some things to me that, yeah, I can go right back to that same time and I'm right there and they're telling me, and some of it kind of fades. Some of it has lost its oomph, you know what I mean? Has lost its power with me, but some is like right there. And even if the timing was off, or if the moods were heightened and things were just like out of the norm, like, you know, whatever, and maybe they came out of anger, it's like, but they came out, which means some part of you thought that. And so if you thought that once, even if you were really angry or you were drinking or whatever, like if it came out, it's because it was a thought somewhere inside you, right? And if it came out directed at me, you believe some of it. And so maybe that's why it's kind of stored back there. But now we know that it's your brain trying to prepare you and defend you from the shit happening again. So interesting. The more you know, I guess. So this was a little tidbit. Hopefully you got something from it. Anyway, we're going to reel it in, wrap it up. It's the weekend almost. So hopefully you all have great plans and fun shit. For me, it's softball time. So, not me, my kids. So, practices and games and all that shit. We've been there, we done that. So, talk about negative things being stored. Ouch, my hamstring. Anyway, so hopefully you all have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like, subscribe. I'm sure a video is going to pop up here-ish in the corner somewhere. Something that YouTube might think you'll like. Click on it, don't, whatever. Click on it. Also, there's a library of like 44 other videos and a ton of other shorts. So, be sure to help yourself. Take a gander, take a look. We're also on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all the fun stuff. So, this has been a good one. Wrapping up week 9 with episode 45. Can't believe it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Have a good one. And we're out.